my name is Hannan. I'm the one who has been emailing you for this Zoom meeting.
Okay.
And I'm Lawrence.
Hello, Lawrence. Hi, morning.
And I'm Talib.
Hi, morning, Talib.
So I think we can start with the first question. If
Sure.
AR Koh, you can explain a brief history regarding your company.
Oh, I think I saved it. Okay, so I started Kota. Kota is short for Dexter Koh Design Architect in late 2013. I started previously I was of course working with another company, Archi Center, and I left Archi Center in late 2013. I got blessings from my ex-boss. I told him, well, I think I want to start my own little office. And he said, yeah, sure. I mean, he was very supportive. And he said, oh, you might not get much jobs for the first year or so. Why don't you work with us while you are still, starting up the company? Because, of course, they were trying to find a replacement for me, a replacement and looking for a few replacements. So it took almost a year before they found a replacement. And so I was on a retainer for almost a year with them, and I was running their project. So I started my office. Then I got a bit busy after a year and a half. So I said, okay, I think it's time for me to move on completely, and until today, I'm still very close with my ex-company. We still meet up, and so it's quite a good camaraderie of I think in the architecture field, it's for give and take, and also having supportive people around us is very important. Yeah.
Thank you. For the second question we have is for the type of architecture that you practice.
Okay. Actually, we do everything under the sun. Well, almost everything.
Okay.
We do everything from small little projects. I mean, our smallest projects probably a guard house, 3 by 3 meters. I know 1 by 1.5 by 1.5 meters. And our largest project is in KK. Currently, it's about almost 80% complete, and that's about almost 1 million plus square feet. So our range of project scale is very diverse. I think it's not the size that matters. Is I think the challenge, and and in between that, we also do interior design. I'm also a registered interior designer. So we also do interior design work in between architecture, and most of our work that we do for architecture, we also do the ID package together. So it's almost like combining both disciplines. I mean, I suppose as architects, I suppose for me as an architect, I don't see the difference. I don't see that. I don't see that kind of division between an architect and interior, because for me, an architect should be able to do an interior. It's whether you want to do or not, I suppose. Because I have architect friends who say, "Oh, I don't do interiors." It's not really about whether they can or can't do it. It's whether they want to do it or otherwise. So, but I did I majored in architecture. I did a minor in interiors back in school. So I thought it was a very interesting field to be in. I mean, you always look at architecture and master planning and large scale things, and then we fail to remember or recall that we as humans are not very large in scale, and interiors are something very important, because it's the enclosure where you actually find where you seek shade. So I think it shouldn't be underestimated. So yeah, we do idea as well. So yeah, so that's what we do in the office. Nothing too large, nothing is too small.
Well, what are the general projects that your company has been involved in? You know, like general.
Um, General. There's nothing general about architecture. It's very specific. But maybe what you're trying to say is the different sort of range of architectural works. Maybe that's
Yeah.
is that what you're trying? Yeah. So yeah, we again, like I said, we don't like to say that we specialize in a certain typology, because I think it's always a challenge to do something new and different. We don't
To
say,
be
oh
flexible,
yeah.
right?
It's not just about flexible. It's just about, for me, there's always this discussion and argument. Oh, you have a specialist in certain things, so you must be very good at that one thing, right? But at the same time, that also means that you're not very good at everything else. And I
True,
think
true.
as an architect, I think it goes back to the whole creation of our profession. An architect is someone who um, has knowledge about a lot of other things, and you are much more of a generalist than a specialist. I mean, you're a specialist in the field of what
In the
you are.
film.
Yeah, but I think you're a generalist in the sense that it is to do with a building, it's to do with an interior, it's to do with a certain needs of a client. I think you just get onto it, get your hands dirty, and dive onto it, and get the job done. I think sometimes we look at different diverse types of projects, and you think, oh, they are so different, but actually it's not much different in the end. It's still about actually it's about people. People are all the same all around. So, and you know that's where our practice statement lies. Architecture is about people, people who we work with, people who we serve, and people who will be consuming our works, basically the end users. And I think that's where we emphasize on people. Even in office, it's about people. It's not about the work. It's about the people behind the work. And I used to write that, and I look at it and I read and say, yeah, it sounds. But after your 6th or 7th year in practice, you kind of believe it's actually about people. It's nothing to do. Well, it's of course something to do about buildings and
Yeah.
but it's all to do about people and how you work with people. It's probably what, 9%, 9 to 10% design. The rest is all technical, and that the majority of it, 80%, is for people. When you talk about typology, of course, they say that we do not want to be pigeonholed into a certain specialized. You say, oh, we are good at doing landed housing. We're good at doing commercial and all that. I think we don't want to put ourselves into that pigeonhole. I think we are quite versatile in that way. We are quite flexible in being able to do things that we might not have done before. But then again, we have never done a lot of things before, right? So if you keep on thinking that we've not done this before, so I'm not going to do it, and I think it's a bit of a cop out. It's a bit of I think we should always try to challenge ourselves. Even if you can't do it, you say, oh yeah, I can do it.
That's
And
great
then
advice.
make sure you get it done well, and make sure you don't screw up. But I think that's where the challenge is, because I think if you think that you specialize in some part of the fields, some say, oh, we are specialists in hospitals, we are specialists in hospitality, and I think sometimes I think when you're into that certain field or specialty, I think sometimes you lose ground of a lot of things, because you take a lot of things for granted. It's so repetitious, and you go back again to the same thing, and I think the danger is that you suddenly, I would say, stop improving, but suddenly you might fail to innovate in time, and look at things from the outside, and I think that's why we have been able to works. We treat every project as a clean slate of paper, and we work from there. We see, okay, what should we do? At every a junction or juncture in the process, we might decide, okay, let's go this way. It is not just like a random thing, but it's through critical analysis of what we think can be a solution um, to a certain task, or a certain brief. And then I think that's been a guiding point of how we work. It's never a set a solution. We just start drawing and see what we want to do. And sometimes we come up with surprises. We might even surprise ourselves. Oh, we don't think that we've been come to that point, or end up to such a solution until you've actually tried. And sometimes you try and you fail, but it's okay. As long as the building's not built yet, it hasn't failed. So there you go.
Okay, thanks. What's your favorite project so far? Your favorite one. There should be a favorite.
Favorite. Okay, let's start as this is the famous answer to questions. My favorite project is the next project, right? But not really. I mean, but actually probably is, because you always like to be witty and you say, my next project is my favorite project. But I think there've been many. I wouldn't want to put in specifically which projects, but I think I find that a lot of projects that we like a lot are projects where I think we had again people, we had clients who were supportive of and understanding of the way we work, understanding of the way we want to achieve for them. I think that's where I think the satisfaction is bigger than just the sum total of the completion of the building. Sometimes you say, oh, I'm proud of this building because it's a huge building. But no, it's not about size. It's not about how it might turn out. Sometimes I think a lot of satisfaction that I personally that I get is dealing with clients who are really appreciative for what we have done and who understand the way we work. But of course, that's I mean the reason I bring this up is because most of the time I think depending on practices, you deal with a lot of clients who are not what should I say in the construction line, who are for one of a better word, lay people, in the sense that they might be their first time, like for example private clients who build residences and all that. This maybe their first time dealing with an architect and with a design team, and I think whereas of course you have the seasoned clients who are developers who meet architects from different practices and all that. So I mean even in that sense, you will I think sometimes you get from the client side telling you compared to so and so. I mean there's things that I think we find a lot of pleasure because we think that we have done our very best. I don't think we want to say, oh, let's get this job and get over and done with. I think it boils down to that one word, which is passion, I guess. If you're passionate about what you do, you will want to do it right and you want to do it correctly. It might take you more time to do, but it's worth doing it in the end. Of course, like you say, you are just doing architecture as a business. You just get a client, draw the damn thing, give it to them, done. I mean, of course you can go on and on and on. Of course you make a lot of money out of it, but I think if you're not satisfied, I don't think that's something that deep down inside you feel the conscience of. I don't think this is how our passion should go to. Unless you're just passionate about the money and that alone. But I think satisfaction is important. satisfaction. So coming back to, I know I've gone a big round. So what's your favorite project? So I think your favorite project, my favorite projects are those which I think I find a lot of satisfaction working with the clients, and you have that lasting impression, and that's the thing about the project, or that's the takeaway from that particular project that actually makes us want to carry on, this difficult industry.
How do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hmm. Okay. Well, 5 years ago, when we were still a year and a half, I didn't know where we're gonna go. And again, I think sometimes of course you get everyone telling you, oh, in 5 years time I'm gonna get 100 people in my office. We're gonna do 20 large projects. We're gonna do this and that. Sometimes let things go, let things fall into place. I mean, of course, looking at it now, of course, we're not very optimistic about the coming. I mean, we weren't very optimistic this year. It's gonna be horrible, but I think we survived. Our office has we survived. We've gone through a bit of difficulties here and there, but we are still doing work. We are still, we were much smaller now because a lot of our part one students have decided they will go back and study. So how do I see myself in 5 years time? I see myself still doing what we are doing, as long as as long as we have the passion to do it, and you think it's worth doing it, you do it. I mean, if you have no passion to do it, no amount of money can make you want to do something. And I think there's this little thing about architects, not big thing about architects is like, that kind of you want to put your name for yourself. I mean, basically everybody wants that kind of recognition. I think that's probably what we want to do in the next 5 years is, getting more recognition. But of course, you can only get recognition through what you do, and you should get recognition for doing it well, and not being infamous. I think which again, like I said, if this question was posed to me, 5 years ago, I would say that, and I think it still rings the same. I think within the last, even last year, I mean, we are very young practice, 6 years, and last year we managed to grab a few awards, and I think that was again, the kind of recognition that we get that gives us the impetus to want to carry on and do better things. Last year we had a bronze and MIIB, so maybe we say, oh, we want to try to get silver or gold. So I think that's probably I know it's hard to say it's like a self-aggrandizing, but I think at the end of the day, we work so hard. We're so passionate about it. But I think sometimes it's the kind of sometimes the recognition you get, the feeling is fantastic, because you feel that you're recognized for all your hard work, sweat and tears and blood and whatever it is. And I think in the next 5 years, we hope that we will get more recognition. And I'm not saying we want to have 100 staff, because that's not really a good wish to have. Especially in times like this, people with 100 staff, they're like, it's really difficult, So I think it's not about the numbers, and it's not about the quantity. I think it's more about quality that we want to aim for. And well, we hope that's how we can come to fruition, I suppose.
What advice would you give aspiring architects?
You guys, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Good question, because I think this is the question that we get asked all the time, and then I think it's important. I think what's important for aspiring architects is, and I think I've said this a million times, well, but you guys. So just, I think firstly, importantly is you have to be the word that I've already used that previously is passion. You need to have the passion to really go through this. Okay, it sounds like war zone and full of sufferings and all that, but sometimes on bad days, let's be honest, you will get it. You will like feel like shit. What am I doing? And it's not only during your coursework. While you're at it at 3 in the morning and your treat is at 7, and you're still coloring or
Yeah.
printing, and it's like shit. I'm what am I? I think, and that's quite common. We all been through it, so it's not a unique situation. And I think the word there is being passionate, and you keep doing it, keep on persevering. I mean, the day you don't have that kind of you lose the day you lose the passion, and the day you lose it. I think architecture will not be able to come back to you in a sense, because I have so many friends who started out. I mean, when I started doing my first year in architecture, we had 120 students. By the time we finished the third year, there were 60. And out of 60, only 30 went to study part two. And out of the 30, maybe, and out of the half, maybe just a handful, started their practices. So it's really a filtration of passion and perseverance. And so once you get through all that, all the shebang, and it's and life is never a rosy bed, right? So be prepared for all the ups and downs. I think that's the other thing. When you start working, you think like, what I'm doing, toilets, it's toilets, and then but if you can do the best toilet in the world. I know until today people still cannot do toilets. So there's not enough of detailing of toilets, right? Yeah, I mean, to all you guys, I think perseverance and passion. I think that's what you need, and that's what you need to have to the end of your career. And until the day you die, I suppose, because as architects, you don't retire, you just work till you die, right?
Yeah.
But most people choose not to. But I think if you look at all the great architects, they go on and on and on, because that's just what keeps them going. Um, and that's what makes it great, because if you can keep on going and on and on and on, and you'll get there one day.
Sure. What would be your advice for us? Should we, let's say, go immediately for part two, or work for a year or something?
Unfortunately, okay, sorry to disappoint. I mean, well, architecture school doesn't teach you to be an architect. I think that's one thing you got to take away from it. It's not a bad experience. You cannot say that therefore you shouldn't go to architecture school. I think we have to understand what architecture school is all about. And that's why, for me, I have issues with architectural education as well. I have hearing people say, oh, you need to get graduates who can really, who are um I mean, yes, it's important to have the an exposure to the skill and all that, but we are not hiring people because they can do CAD, but of course they have to use a certain software or certain way of designing. But people have been designing before CAD came, right? Before
Yeah.
Revit came, people have been designing. There's something called your hand and the pencil, right? And I think for me to answer the questions about students, and I mean, I can go on and on, but we only got 6 minutes 50 seconds. So um for me, so again, question is, what does the school teach you? The school doesn't teach you to be an architect. The school teach you how you can learn to be an architect, because I think how to be an architect, or how to work, how to get into this industry, and how to do architecture. It's about you. It's all about you. I think you are the determinant of your fate and of your future. and people tell me, school didn't teach me that. I mean, well, the school is not supposed to teach you that, because we're looking at school as in primary and secondary school, where you get fed, student fed. That's what university education does. It teaches you how to learn on your own, because at the end of your 3 years, you got to be on your own, and you don't have to you have to go back to school to learn skills. So you're equipped with the skills to manage your life. That's what a university education is. So they can only teach you can only know that much, but I hope by the end of these 3 years you have equipped yourself with the skills to continue learning about yourself and learning about your chosen field of architecture. And then from there, I think it's all exploration, and of course, work experience is totally important. I cannot stress any harder that you need to do your year out. You can do a year, you can do 2 years if you feel like it. I mean, it's not this. I mean, I have people telling me, "Oh, I want to quickly graduate and quickly work." I said, "Come on, you got like 60 years of career ahead of you. I mean, slow down. I mean,
Yeah.
and you get you get to the pinnacle of your career at when you are 60 or 70, or I don't know when or you're 102 like I am. I am pay, and that's time is on your side. Of course, don't take too much time. Don't take 10 years. But just take time to reflect and do your year out, work, gain as much experience. Of course, you say, people tell me, "Oh, I didn't learn much." I say, "Are you sure?" I think you learn more than you thought. And if people say they learn something, it's not about learning about skills. Skills is something that you learn and unlearn and you relearn over the whole lifetime of yours. But the skill that you can never take away is how to learn a skill, how to find solutions to things. Those are skills which you have learned, which you have not realized. And to be able to find a solution which you have to decide whether it's the right one or not. That's a skill to have. And the takeaway is that you'll be doing that for the rest of your life. So you better start being independent. They start making decisions for yourselves. Um, of course, there's no right and wrong decisions. You go to an office and your boss say, "No, I want it done this way," for reasons best known to himself, maybe from bad experience that he had doing one solution and not another. So you can look at it in a very wide, I think I take things in a very much open mind. You need to have equip yourself with this as you will go into the world. And then once you decided after that 1 or 2 years, then you said, "Am I going back again?" I think the answer will be the question will be answered by yourself when the time comes. I think you will really know what you want. Okay, like I said, the attrition level is very high. 50% of people who graduate part 1 will not continue part 2. Okay, so it's a fact. No one will. I mean, a lot of people will not want to say that, but actually it's a fact. So you want to be the next 3% who decide to continue, then you have to condition yourself to do it. Okay. Sure.
Thank you for your
Thank you
information.
so much.
No
Thank you so
worries.
much for your time.